will it become World War III? Right? So what do you guys think? Another question is, how does it affect Taiwan? Right? So, I know some people are saying that if Russia keeps up their war and America starts fighting them, then China will use that as an excuse to attack Taiwan. Right? But I have been talking with another teacher at a military school, and the thing is, China isn't ready to attack Taiwan. So if they were to attack now, they would have a lot of problems. They need a couple more years at least to be ready. So probably we don't need to worry, probably, but still, what about Russia? Do you guys understand why Russia attacked Ukraine? Not so much. There's part of the USSR question. So, back when Russia was part of this union, right? The USSR, it's the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. I don't know how to say that in Chinese. Right? It was 15 different countries that were all together in this one big thing. They were all together in communism, socialism, right? And they were all, they all shared an economy. And that's part of the key issue. They shared an economy, they each had their own language, but some of them were still more Russian than others, right? So, I don't know if you've seen in the news, but there's another country that that's right beside Russia. If Russia kind of is here, then there's this country here and Ukraine is here. Okay, so this country here, Belarus, this is actually Russian culture. But they are separate. This word means white Russian. So Russia itself is mostly Asia, right? It's mostly in Asia. Western Russia is where most of the civilization is. You know, Moscow. How do you say Moscow in Chinese? Okay. Yeah, their capital city, right? That's where their culture is, that's where their government is, right? Most of the rest of their country is empty. It's snow and trees and rocks, right? So they have a large culture center here, and this country here is, they're close allies. They're very, they basically have the same culture. They use the same language, and they're separate countries politically, but they do everything together. So when Russia attacked the Ukraine, they actually went through this other country, and that's part of the problem for Ukraine, right? So the thing is, Russia doesn't just want to take people that they think belong to them, right? Do you guys understand about the separatists? You know, in eastern Ukraine, this area here, you know, there's these places, they want to separate, right? Ukraine. Is morning. Okay, the thing is, the eastern part of the Ukraine, the part right next to Russia, there's a lot of Russian people living here. The countries are right beside each other, right? So this happens in a lot of places. Wherever they share a border like that, there's a lot of Russians living here, a lot of Ukrainians living here. You know, they go across the border for work, they get married, right? They're connected. But the rest of Ukraine and these provinces, they've been fighting for a long time, right? For the past 10 years now, there's been war here. So part of Russia's excuse is that we're not attacking them, we're saving them. These people are always being attacked by the others in Ukraine. So Russia says, we're just trying to protect these people, right? But nobody believes that, right? So part of the excuse is to recognize that these people are part of Russia. But the people who are living there are the people who are getting killed by the Russians. So there's a lot of lying there, right? The government does not always tell the truth. So part of the question is, where will Russia stop? And will the West start fighting back? So, 你们有没有听过NATO 的问题? You know the NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization? No? This is an organization, you know the UN, right? Okay, so the UN is not military. They are just a group of governments, right? But this is more of a military organization. North Atlantic, this is, you know, the Atlantic Ocean, right? So the northern part, this includes Canada, the United States, England, a lot of Europe, all of the countries who kind of have the same ideas are part of this organization. But they are about democracy, right? Or capitalism. You're allowed to buy what you want, you can say what you want, like in Taiwan. Russia is communist, like China, right? So, what their excuse is that if the Ukraine, if they become part of NATO, then you have two enemies right beside each other, right? 这个了解吗? NATO, this is democracy, right? Russia, socialist, 他们真是敌人, they're enemies. They don't agree. As long as Ukraine is not NATO, not Russia, 他们是分开的, right? 所以那个Russia， 俄罗斯跟那个 the Western world 有他们中间是分开的 alright? So 如果他们 Ukraine, they become part of NATO, then we have NATO right beside Russia, okay? And they don't like that. They think it's too close, okay? So part of their reason for attacking was because the Ukraine wanted to be part of NATO. So, 这个没有听过吗? If you read anything in the news, then it's easy to find information about it. So, those are the reasons leading to this. But what people say is the reason and the real reason, 他们说的跟他们错的不一定是一样的, right? So if we know why they're there, then maybe we can guess better what they will do. So right now, Ukraine